Hey there boys and girls, like Skillfakey here and welcome back to another Battlefield 4 video. So today we have a tutorial slash guide for you guys in order to improve your aim as a recon player, or better said to improve your sniping aim with a sniper rifle. It will feature stuff such as dragshots and quickscopes and probably some other terms that you do not like or might not like, but I will use them nonetheless because it's easier to say instead of and then you quickly aim at their head and shoot and aim out when you all know what I mean, and I hope you can bear with me. But anyways, let's get this started. So first of all, let's go back to the basics of aiming. I know it's pretty self-explanatory what I'm going to tell you right now, but we still have to use it in order to talk a little bit more about it later down the road. So first step, you will have to line up your crosshairs at the enemy target. Pretty self-explanatory, I know. Second step, you have to aim down your sights or through your scope. During that time, you're not really able to perceive your enemy target, you're not really able to see it. Step 3, you're in the scope now, and now it's time to aim for the enemy. Step 4, you shoot. Step 5, you go out of the scope again. Now you're probably like, well, lucky, I could have told that myself and I'm no better sniper now. Yeah, just wait. These are just the important steps that we need to analyze in order to get better. If we apply our newly acquired knowledge now to something, let's say like a quickscope, we'll certainly see that the most important part about it is basically the first step. In step 1, you're setting up your crosshairs at the enemy target. Then you're aiming down the sights, you're jumping step 3 and going straight to step 4 to shooting and aiming out again. Basically what this will mean is that you're basically, well, as fast as it gets besides doing something like a no-scope, but the drawback to it is, of course, is that you're pretty inaccurate. You cannot perceive the target, and this is basically why I prefer drag shots or drag scopes or whatever you want to call it to quickscopes. Another really negative downside to something, let's say like a quickscope, would be that after you've shot, you really do not know if you've hit a target besides maybe a hit marker or something like that, because you're not staying in the scope in order to basically confirm that you have hit the target. Also again, you don't have extra time for aiming when he changes directions or he's something like, I don't know, he just stops moving, for example. Then just doing the whole quickscope thing doesn't really work. So this is why we will talk about drag shots right now. So, drag shots. I actually have no clue why they are called like that. I mean, it is kind of obvious, you're dragging your scope and you're shooting, but it's basically just aiming with a sniper rifle. There's really nothing big to it. If we go back to what we've said before, you're basically lining crosshairs up to the enemy target, step 1, then step 2 you're aiming, step 3, or better said going in your scope, step 3 is aiming at your enemy target, step 4 is shooting, and step 5 is going out again. The whole process of drag scoping is actually just a fancy name for, well, basically sniping or aiming with a sniper rifle while doing it very quickly. Of course now you probably expected something else like, okay, you have to do this and that in order to be the best drag shotter, quickscoper, lead MLG pro ever, but basically it just is practice, and I know people do not like this at all, but if you really think about it, just go over the 5 steps. Basically a drag shot is all the 5 steps all together, not for example like jumping certain steps like a no-scope or quickscope would, but all 5 steps together, which is of course the most accurate version you can get, and it's basically just executed really quickly. There's not much like magic to it or anything. It's basically just aiming through your scope and killing enemy people. A really important thing now, which again you probably would not like to hear because you want a magic trick that I really cannot offer you, but the thing is, you have to practice in order to get better. It's basically the same with everything else in life. And if you want to get better with aiming and you want to get faster, you have to do it naturally. Just play as if you would play a sniper role, just like your normal playstyle. Don't force. Again, this is the most important tip for you guys. Do not force yourself to be a quick player, or I mean to try to quickscope or drag scope or just to aim quickly, because like that your brain will have actually a harder time to memorize how it should actually like do all the stuff and how to do it faster, because it's doing that already. Like naturally the brain like memorizes all of that. You're building up muscle memory and all stuff, so the only real way in order to get faster and to really master the technique instead of just like I don't know, highlight a single quickscope in a montage or something like that, you just have to play and play and play, and you will get better eventually. Just try to play and aim, and you could of course try to do it a little bit faster and go for a 1 or 2 hasty shots, but it's basically when you're repeating something and you're doing it over and over again, your body will memorize it and you will get better at it. This is basically one of the most important things. Another thing or indicator that, well, if you're a kind of an unskilled player, or you're unsure about your skills, or if you're a good player or not, and you rely on something like stats or something like that, you probably need something like an indicator. And a good indicator for you in order to know when you're getting better is that you're snapping off targets. By that I mean, step 1, lining up the crosshairs, you're doing that. Step 2, you're aiming down the sights. Step 3, you're aiming at your enemy target. Then step 4 and step 5 are basically the exact same thing. You shoot and you're going off the scope immediately. Like, really immediately, like they would be one and this exact same thing. This basically indicates for you as a player that you're basically getting better, because when you're able, or when you're at a point that you basically let your shots snap off, you're basically feeling confident enough that you do not have to stay in your scope in order to confirm that you've hit the enemy target, which will basically then in return mean, when it comes naturally by yourself, not forcing it, then this will basically indicate for you that you're getting better and you're getting more secure with basically the hitting part. Then of course there's another part with just the first 2 steps with setting up the crosshairs and lining and aiming and stuff, and you will of course also get faster and better with that. It's just a natural process, and you again do not have to force it on yourself. Just play with it and you will get better by time. It's no magic trick to it, and basically all the good players that there are, they've put some time into the game. They've put some time into it. Of course, it's important to know how you execute this stuff, and basically standing still and holding the breathing, the hold breath key in order to maximize your accuracy are important things to know when it comes to something like aiming, or just improve your aim as a sniper, or yeah, as a sniper. And I really hope that this guide was kind of helpful for you guys. By the way, you were watching a, I think, 16-5 gameplay on Lumpini Garden, a rush gameplay, in case you care about something like KD or that stuff. I think I just died like 3 times in a row right now, but anyways. If you enjoyed the video, or if it helped you somehow, I would really appreciate it if you guys could leave me a like or a comment or something like that, or I don't know, share it with a friend, I guess? But yeah, I think it's pretty much all for now, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and like a skill faker out.